As the original Nintendo Switch's lifespan draws to a close, and with the Switch 2 coming sometime this year, I want to look back at the last nearly 8 years of the Switch and see what catapulted to become Nintendo's most successful console in recent history. And the Switch's success can be attributed to the one game that was there from day one: The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It goes without saying how brilliant this game is. It reinvented the Zelda formula on a substantial open world scale. It was the highest rated game of 2017 on Metacritic, leading to winning Game of the Year awards from numerous publications and award shows. Breath of the Wild also inspired many more games that would come, or in some cases, straight up copying Breath of the Wild. However, Breath of the Wild's significance goes even deeper than many would realize. It started a new era for Nintendo, resulting in a bigger, bolder, and brighter future for the Nintendo Switch. In this video, I will explain why The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild symbolizes the entire Switch era for Nintendo. Right out of the gate, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is easily considered one of the best games based on its quality alone. The expansive world of Hyrule is easily one of the game's best highlights, with so many secrets and locations to discover. With its emphasis on exploration, Breath of the Wild is a reimagining of the original Legend of Zelda on the NES, which helped define the action-adventure genre, but on a much bigger and bolder scale than any other Zelda game that came before Breath of the Wild. Nintendo's goal with Breath of the Wild was to reinvent the Zelda series in new and ambitious ways. The game encourages exploration and experimentation with its unique mechanics and tools available in the player's arsenal, whether if it's solving the various shrine puzzles or going through various enemy encounters. While many will find the weapon's durability annoying, it makes the player constantly think about using the variety of weapons that they would find. The freedom given to the player is unlike anything we have seen before. See something in the distance? You can go there and explore. Want to climb this hill or mountain? Go for it. Just ensure it doesn't rain or you will be slipping hard. If you are brave enough, you can also go directly to the final boss after beating the game's tutorial area. There's a reason why many big games nowadays draw much of their inspiration from Breath of the Wild. It's a perfect example of how to make an enormous open world game that gives the player so much control and freedom. The same can be said for its sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, where they took everything that Breath of the Wild has given, added the Sky Islands and the depths, and gave us even more ways to combat enemies and explore the world of Hyrule. There is no question that Breath of the Wild's quality helped push it to become one of the best games for the Switch. But another reason why it became the go-to Switch game is one that many people may not realize. Breath of the Wild's release represented a crucial time for Nintendo to ensure that both the game and the Switch do well at launch, as the company struggled with the Wii U for the past 4 years. Many people do not know or may have forgotten that Breath of the Wild was supposed to be a game exclusive to the Wii U and was initially scheduled to be released in 2015, but it got delayed twice. When they delayed it for the second time in May 2016, they also announced it was coming to the Switch under its codename NX. This was Nintendo's biggest project at the time, and limiting the game to just the Wii U would not have helped the game get any recognition whatsoever. However, Breath of the Wild's dual release on both systems became much more critical than Nintendo realized. They struggled throughout the Wii U's lifespan and desperately needed a comeback in the industry. Now, they could have chosen any game to launch with the Switch. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe may have been a good candidate, as the series has always been popular. Not only did Mario Kart 8 Deluxe become the Switch's best-selling game of all time, but Nintendo is also taking the popularity of Mario Kart and may be launching a brand new one alongside their new console, the Switch 2. But the Switch's launch was not dependent on having many titles available from day one. It was Nintendo's opportunity to prove they would provide the ambitious, game-changing experiences that the company was known for, which they could not deliver on the Wii U. Everything touched upon earlier in this video about Breath of the Wild's quality and innovation, which would change the industry, shows that Nintendo is learning from their mistakes and leaning towards a much more ambitious future. There's a reason why we celebrated at the end of the 2017 Switch presentation when they announced that Breath of the Wild would be a launch title for the Switch. Despite of the Switch's slim launch lineup, Breath of the Wild made up for it, proving that launching it alongside the Switch was a decision that ultimately paid off. Now, there's one thing that I keep mentioning in this entire video, which Breath of the Wild can symbolize the main selling point for the Nintendo Switch, and that's ambition. The Switch is Nintendo's most ambitious console to date. Its revolutionary hybrid technology, combined with many features from their previous consoles, like the DS's touchscreen and the Wii's motion controls, made for a console that opened the door for new ways to play home console quality games that were no longer confined to your house. While Breath of the Wild does not take advantage of every feature of the Switch, like what use would the IR camera have for this game, it carries the same sense of ambition through its scale and freedom to the player. This game catalyzed Nintendo's new ambitious future, which resulted in some of the biggest games that we have seen from Nintendo in a long time. Many have also broken the boundaries of their respective Nintendo series. If it weren't for Breath of the Wild, we would not have gotten games like Super Mario Odyssey, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Pokemon Legends Arceus, to name a few. Breath of the Wild was the starting point of the ambitious experiences that came and ushered in a new, bolder era for Nintendo throughout the Switch's nearly 8-year lifespan. Breath of the Wild would forever leave a legacy in Nintendo's history that defined their modern renaissance, and why Breath of the Wild will forever be the game that best symbolizes the Switch era for Nintendo.